Hey to the people, what's going on? It's me, Chase. This is No Chaser TV, and we're here to do the Salt Lake City review from a chaotic episode of Salt Lake City. And I have someone who has been breaking down Salt Lake City chaos since at least season two or one or two, I think. Uh,
One,
yeah, season one. Okay, yes. Chad, I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here, my friends. Good to see you
Yes,
and good to be on the channel. Always great
yes.
to be on your channel.
Thank you so much. Always great to have you. I think the last time we did something was the BET Awards after whatever we did, and we got like
And when was
really
that,
positive
June?
reviews on it. Yeah, that show we did. So the people love you here, and I'm sure they'll be happy to see you when you pop on up. So we're gonna go ahead and just get right into it without further delay. Before we start, though, I want to thank everybody for like the success on No Chaser TV social. Thank y'all so much. Like I checked because I stopped checking, and like we're at over 83K on Facebook, which is like, oh,
Period.
83,000.
Period.
That is like weird, isn't it?
It can be, but I mean, you've been putting in the work, so I mean, that's when it just come. But it's always good to be like a pleasant surprise when you realize,
Yes.
like, wait, is that many people here? So yeah, that's good.
83,000 messy people. I almost
Which
said, oh,
means which means we're gonna aim for what 100K by the end of the year. Hopefully
okay,
before
come on
that.
with it. Oh, do you want a revolution? We do. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and get all 83,000 of y'all asses over here. Catch that dirt. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The ladies arrive at the airport, and Mary is struggling with her luggage because what's an episode without a Maryism? And Bronwyn texts that she's going to miss her flight. Initially, I'm like, why is Whitney reading this text message so dramatic? And then we find out the drama that the charges had leaked, and so Whitney's not really surprised that Bronwyn is waffling on possibly not being able to come on this trip. And she says whether she comes or she doesn't come, they're going to talk about it regardless. So she's damned if she do, damned if she doesn't. The ladies are going to Kanawhan, and Kanawhan is known for being a billionaire's playground. Have you ever heard of Kanawhan? Because I
I
just
have
met a
not.
billionaire. Yeah, I was like,
I
oh.
had I had never heard of it at all until they mentioned it.
Okay, so Kanawhan, we got to get us a billion and get on out there. Cost of being the
Listen,
vacation that good, I guess. I don't know.
it's giving
Um,
one of them yachts Beyonce and Jay-Z be on when they be vacationing and they
absolutely,
be
it
gone
costs a
for a little
billion.
minute. Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Beyonce, you've been gone too long. Come on back. Thank you. Now, with that being said, because what's she doing? The ladies meet the staff, and Angie goes for hugs, and Lisa scoffs that Angie needs the attention. And I'm just like, here we go with this shit already today. She says that this will be so nice for Angie because Angie's usually used to an RV. And I'm like, oh Lord, Lisa. But then after that, Angie gets her whack in because Angie says she sees Lisa and her energy goes down. But then the bright spot about being next to Lisa is that at least standing next to Lisa makes her ankles look smaller. And I'm like, oh, baby, Angie K
I,
can read. I'm
I
sorry.
fell out. It is so quick with it. That's why I love it.
Where do you rank? That's a good thing. What do you rank Angie versus Lisa? We're getting like into it. But like where do you think that lands in Salt Lake City feuds?
That's one of the better ones because I don't think that. Well, you saying Lisa and Angie as like the whole feud, as far
Yeah.
as like where does it
Like Lisa
land?
versus Angie.
It's definitely going to be at the top because it's at this point it's moved on from season. What we're in season 6 now.
Season six.
So yeah, it's moved on from season 5. And
Hmm.
honestly, since Angie has become a full-time cast member, they've kind of been at odds,
Yeah.
or not the best since then. So I guess it will say since season 4.
Season
So
four.
now we're in this space where they're kind of like frenemies. They've kind of moved on from like being enemies or not liking each other. Now they're kind of in a frenemy space. But I think it's one of the better feuds because it's still not as dark as I'm sure it can go, but it is
Mm.
still very like entertaining.
Like for me, it's right up there. What it's not going to ever surpass. I think the most legendary feud of Salt Lake City to me, and it's surprisingly not the Monica of it all. I think it's still going to be Jen Shaw versus Mary, because that's the first like iconic for me at least. It was an iconic moment. It was marquee. It hit social media like wildfire. You smell like hospital and all of those things. Like it was just like, what am I watching? And we've had
It's
like
definitely a good one.
yeah, Lisa versus Meredith is iconic. But Lisa has treated Angie a certain type of way since season 4 when
Hmm.
Angie was trying to be her friend and her minion, and that didn't really work out in Angie's favor. So the fact that the gloves are off, I think that for me, sometimes I really feel like Angie K is like pretty mean, but then I have to consider like her whole trajectory, and it's like I kind of have to
Yeah,
back on it because the
she's gotten to that place because in the beginning, I'll never forget, I used to like the other Angie
oh
before I liked
yes,
Angie K.
yes,
And I remember Angie K being not really well received by the public at first.
yes,
And it's like now she's like almost a fan. I really could say a fan favorite because
absolutely.
people really like Angie K now, and myself included. So it's definitely good to see her trajectory compared to how she started and where she started at.
That's a
I
good one.
mean, Monica called her a bench warming bitch, and clearly she runs the girls now. So it's kind of like I don't
Oh,
know.
I think the Bible says the last shall be first or something. I can't quote no Bible verse, but I heard it. The last shall be first because I do remember like wanting more Angie H until her husband ended up being weird.
Hmm.
I think that was what did it for me. Anyway, Angie H. Wow, that's a callback. Um, Brittany sees the male staff and is horny and ready to have another baby so she can neglect them for a man too. That is a hornbot, isn't it?
And she's the oldest out of all the girls.
That's what you know what they say though with women, as you know, the older they get, sometimes in a lot of women they're sexual, just like but I don't even think it's for her the older she's gotten because her daughter said she's always neglected her for a man and made out in front of her with men in front of her. What did you think of baby Heather getting her mama together like that on screen last week?
I'm screaming at baby Heather. She did kind of give Heather.
I gave Heather.
um, but I thought it was good. I thought it was I mean, I always like a good vulnerable moment, for housewives, especially ones that really have stuff going on that kind of people can relate to because it's a lot of people, men and women that feel like their parents have neglected them in a way for a man. So to see it play out, that's the one thing, a lot of people don't really care for Brittany and, like, oh, don't bring her back. She does too much. I do think all those things are true. As far as the don't bring her back thing, I think that I think she's a good
Be
supporting
character.
character because she is very vulnerable. And you don't really get that from, especially in today's time where housewives are so aware of how they're being perceived and how they come across on camera. You don't get that vulnerability, so I admired it, and I admire that Brittany is pretty much an open book. Like she is annoying, we can give her all the adjectives that she deserves, but she's still very vulnerable, which is also a very vital part of housewives. So I thought it was a good moment.
For me, on this season in particular, I've been screaming to Brittany to stand up, stand up for her daughter, but most importantly, stand up to these ladies because I'm glad that Meredith spells it out later why they don't like her or why she doesn't like her, but it rings true
Hmm.
for everyone. And the only way, unfortunately, you go about getting these women off of you is if you turn into Angie K because they were on her ass too until
Yep.
she gave them something to back up off. Sometimes you have to back a girl up off of you.
Yep. You
And
absolutely do, and she might
and
need to do that.
she has to do that. Heather puts Brahman in a room with Brittany, and Brittany is not enthused. That's why you have to get somebody up off of you. No, ma'am, I'm not sleeping with her. I hate to be that. Like when I travel, I am so. Though it's probably going to sound crazy, but hard to believe. I'm very low maintenance because I don't want to be the one responsible for ruining the trip. It's
Yeah,
always like
I'm the
in
same
the back
way.
of my head, like, girl, they already gonna thank you. They already think you're a diva. You are a diva, but they're gonna think you're gonna be a diva on this trip. Just shut up, just take it what you're given, and don't say nothing.
Yep.
But I don't play about like my sleeping situation. Bless you. So if I am to sleep with someone, which I don't mind sleeping with someone, at least can it be someone I'm friendly with? Like
Yeah.
Bronwyn hates that girl.
Literally hates her.
Well, everybody hates her, so I guess she don't really have no choice, except for Lisa. Like maybe Lisa and Brittany could have done it, and Bronwyn and Meredith could have shared a room. I don't know. Heather was messy for that. Brittany, to me at least, Brittany says that she was doing 30 days away from Jared, and then he came to help her pack, and well, she's starting over again. The girls say they didn't want to hear Jared's name the rest of the trip since Brittany wants to bone Captain Jason. If she says his name again, they will throw a drink on her. Brittany says Jared, 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 and they dump all the water they can find on Brittany. Stand up.
Literally, y'all not gonna make a rule just because y'all feel like making a rule on me, especially not one where I'm the one getting wet and everybody else is okay. Absolutely not.
That would have been where I'm off the trip, Chad. I just got to be honest. I would have put because somebody ass getting whooped.
Yeah, you're not gonna throw water on me. I don't care
Maybe
what
this
name I
one,
say.
Chad, but that second one, I did not like the second one.
The second one was like, we mean what we say. You say
Yeah,
his name and you're gonna get doused.
I don't like that one. That's the one I didn't like because the first one still was like somewhat playful,
It
but
was.
in a you a little girl kind of way. Like that little girl Brittany a lot. You know what I mean? Girl, we don't care what you say. We gonna do it. You know, and so Brittany was in on the joke because she participated with it because she said his name over and over again, and they did
Yeah.
it. But the next one we're going to talk about, I didn't like that one. Brahman arrives in a mosquito life raft dress on a tender, unsure of what to expect. Lisa says it's ironic that Brahman came for her when she's had such skeletons in her own closet, but she won't use the word karma. She also has seen quicker than karma come around, Brahman wear that dress more than once. And so what do you think, first of all, because you know you're a fashion enthusiast, what do you think of her Moschino look? Is it fashion? Is it camp? Is it both? And then what do you think about the irony of Bronwyn bringing up these charges about Lisa now wanting, you know, to come on this trip and everything? The irony of it all.
I thought that her outfit was camp. I thought at this point, even though we've only known Bronwyn for 2 seasons at this point, I feel like it tracks with, who she is. We've seen her in, some a little bit of everything outrageous stuff. So it tracks. It's still Bronwyn. And was it something I would wear? Maybe not, but I
Absolutely
did
not. No,
like it.
ma'am.
Right. I did like it for her. And the extraness of it all. So it was cute to me for her. And Lisa's so extra because she said she's seen her more than once, and it's like those pictures all had the same date. So it was like clearly,
Why would they splice them like that to make it
I
look like that?
said, I was like, why would they do that? But yeah, it was the same date. So I was like, maybe she's worn it more than once, maybe she's not hasn't. But at the end of the day, you've only seen her in that one time. Besides that time, so Lisa, of course, was being her little normal self. But I didn't really think that. I felt like Lisa loves this whole because it happened to me, you know, then she tried to play the whole like I don't want to say karma, but that's really how she felt anyway. So it was kind of like, oh, since it happened to me, like it can happen to you.
Mm.
Which is why, and I'm sure we'll get to that part soon, but which is why the episode pretty much ended how it ended. So it's like you can't
Mm.
play the victim, and try to blame it on karma when you've been nasty. I was very lost and annoyed at least at the rest of the episode because of yeah.
All right. Yeah. For me, I do understand what she's saying though, and I kept saying as I because I've watched it since the beginning too, except for season 3. I still with Mary. So if y'all want to say I'm not a purist, then that's fine. I'm not going back to watch it. Um, but you remember that chat? I was like, I ain't watching it. We was in a good chat.
You
I
was
ain't watching
adamant.
it. I watch y'all, but I ain't watching that. You
You was
know,
adamant. We was keeping you up to date with the stuff going on.
y'all were because I did watch a review, but other than that, I wasn't doing it anyway. And it took Mary to get me to come back because when I heard Mary was coming back, I was like, okay, I'll come back because I wasn't coming back anyway. So I'm kind of watching season 5 in a canon almost. And so I'm not disregarding the history that's been there for the ladies, but I do think that Bronwyn has to know if, and Lisa needs to know this as well because a lot of this starts with Lisa. You know what I mean? But if you're going to dish the dirt and you have dirt, do not be surprised when the dirt is dished back. That's all
Yeah.
I will say for Bronwyn. And so she says some things in this episode too that kind of like piss me off and annoy me. The mosquito dress, I'll take it or leave it. It's very Bronwyn. But can I say that I don't have like top 5 Bronwyn looks that I live for?
I kind of feel that way too. I think she's consistent as far as like she looks good, she presents good, but I don't think I can say like I live for her looks or, she's just like the baddest. Like, no. I
I
still
don't feel
think
like
that Lisa Barlow to me is probably still their best dressed housewife as far as like overall aesthetic. I love Lisa's always clean and, so I give it to Lisa still as far as on the dressing, but Bronwyn does have the pieces, which I love.
Bronwyn has the pieces, but I be feeling like the pieces be wearing Bronwyn.
Sometimes they do, because
Yeah,
sometimes
okay, okay.
it feels like sometimes she knows she's on a show, so let me put on the best of
The
what I
wackiest
have.
thing combined. Yeah.
Yeah. Versus just, putting it on.
Right. Very, 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 very good. Brittany tells Bronwyn they are sleeping together, and Bronwyn says, "Hell to the no, I'm not Jared." The ladies hear Jared and try to throw water on Brittany, who says, "Y'all, I didn't say it," and they dump it on her anyway. That's what I didn't like,
Yep.
because the
Very
girl was
nasty.
begging for her life, not for y'all to do that. That was
Very
different.
nasty.
That was nasty. That was kind of mean spirited, and that's what I don't like. Because if Meredith is having a good time at Brittany's expense, you know it's mean spirited because she hates that girl. And so with Meredith getting, I was like, oh no, you can't even play with me like that because you're not playing. You know what I mean? Like
You
certain
are
people can
not
play with you.
playing.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Brittany asked why Bronwyn didn't come with the ladies, and Bronwyn says she almost didn't come at all. Bronwyn says someone in the group leaked those texts with those charges, and that the charges for the most part aren't true. Bronwyn also doesn't like that the ladies discussed it behind her back, and no one checked on her except for Mary. Bronwyn says she made mistakes in the past and has things like evictions on her credit and stuff like that. So that's why she got with Todd to fix her credit. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hmm.
But one that's current, that is currently sealed, has a penal code that is attached to Bronwyn's name, but the charges are not for Bronwyn, because, as she'll explain later, she cooperated with her place of employment. And those charges have everything from identity theft and the gamut. And she says the only thing about it is it upsets Todd and his business, so she's not happy about it, and she was concerned about her daughter, and that's why she did not come. So please tell me what you're thinking about this, because for Bronwyn to say, for me, and this is what pissed me off about Bronwyn, I can't believe that the ladies discussed this behind my back when we opened up the season premiere with you bringing up charges about Lisa while Lisa's not there. Is, to me, hypocritical. I don't know. You're more astute than me. Maybe I missed something from season 5, but I just feel like, come on, Bronwyn, you just got done doing the same thing.
So initially, I was annoyed with her as well with that.
Okay.
But when I thought back on it, I said it sounds like her issue is more of the fact that the way it was done, it was leaked to the press, and they discussed it. Versus with the Lisa stuff, I believe that it wasn't leaked. It was like they looked it up or something, or what exactly? I forgot exactly
It was already
how.
out, and I think
Yeah,
that
it
they
was.
brought it
It
to the
was.
show, and they were saying
Yeah,
like Lisa never talks about her stuff that's out.
yeah, and I think that that's kind of where Brahma was looking at it from that lens of more so like after something happens or after she gets into it with somebody, then all of a sudden this is a random story leaked to the press, and then y'all are discussing it. Now, don't get me wrong, it is still a bit hypocritical because at the end of the day, regardless of how the information comes out, it's out, and at this point, you can't be upset about them discussing it because you know how the game goes. You know you're on this show. You know that they're going to discuss it. You know the group of girls you're in. So at the end of the day, you know it was going to be discussed. So really, the whole act of, why are they talking about it behind my back? It's just kind of silly. She before the trip, she said she knew it was going to be brought up. So if you already knew it was going to be brought up, then why are you making a big deal about it?
I
It's
think
not
Todd
that
try
deep.
to. I'm sorry, you said it's not that deep. Yeah,
It's,
it's
it's
not.
not that deep to me.
You think Todd may have put a put a shoot in her boot, shot her up, and got her fired up before she came, and so that's why she's taking on Todd's feelings almost about Todd.
Possibly, but I also think that she knows that, at one time there was a narrative that she came on the show to get divorced. And I still feel that, that could still be 10%, but I think that Bronwyn, from what I've gotten from her, she still seems to be very, to me, she still seems to love her husband. Like it's not a thing to where I don't think that she loves him. I think that she values his opinion on things. And he also is still controlling to me. So it could be a thing to where she doesn't want to, get cut off from the money or get cut off from her
Mm,
privileges and stuff like that. So if Todd's upset, that makes her upset because now gonna be basically she's gonna be basically kind of in trouble. If so, it's kind of weird to even put into words like that because she's a grown woman. But
but
I
no,
do think that there's multiple layers to it as far as why she's upset.
yeah,
Because yeah, that happens. In relationships, you make somebody else mad, and the partner, if they're going to be feeling the brunt of it, and that it kind of makes you put you in a place of I want y'all to stop talking about my business because now it's rubbing off on my partner and it's rubbing off on me
definitely.
too.
But then again, you got to think about it. If you don't want that energy returned, Don't serve it. And so that's where
Don't
I'm
serve
still at
it.
with Brahma. All of those things that you said are absolutely true. And I think there was something that you said about not wanting to get in trouble, or the principal kind of figure, or the father figure in her husband. I think that that rings true throughout her relationship with her mother as well. And I think that that's just something like a
Hmm.
recurring line throughout Bronwyn's life, is basically um, making sure existing and living not to piss other people off at her own expense. Like, I get that you're upset about it, and I get that it affects you, and I understand that. I do apologize about that. I hate that for you, that it makes you feel this way. But let's not forget, when people are like in their bag and in their feeling like what she said to you affects me and it hurts me, people sometimes tend to forget that she said it to you.
Yep.
And so your feelings almost don't even matter in the moment, because now I can't even address what was said to me. I got to worry about you, to the point where it sacrifices me worrying about me being shot in a situation, because I got to tend to your wound too. Not
Yep.
like we tend to each other's wounds, which would be ideal. It's like, well, Todd doesn't like it, so I'm upset about it. Which you should be upset that someone has upset your man. Don't get me wrong, but if your man is making you feel like how you feel about it doesn't really matter, and your mom is making you feel about like how you feel about things, like the way when they were talking about her being pregnant and how she felt about it, it didn't really matter because her mom was so embarrassed, and so, her father was steeped into the church and her mom was so embarrassed, then it kind of usurped her feelings about her own pregnancy. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
I
whew,
do think too. People think that while I do think Todd may have a control problem, I don't think he's necessarily controlling, if that
mm,
makes sense when it comes to
mm,
Bronwyn. And I say that because in this episode, I noticed that he said, um, if you go, don't come back and talk to me about it. So I think that
mm,
also plays a part. I think that Bronwyn, of course, naturally will speak with her husband about what goes on in the group. And I think that Todd is okay with her doing whatever she wants to do, but it's like, if you know that these women are already nasty to you, you know that Lisa doesn't really like you, all that, then why are you going on this trip? So I understood him asking her all that. And then I also understood where he was coming from, where it's like, well, if you go, don't come back to me when she pisses you off again. Don't come talking to me, because I agree with that. If you already know a situation and know how a person is, if you're gonna continue to put your feet in the fire, don't come to me asking me for a band-aid when you already knew that, that was going to happen. You already knew that this person was capable of this, because it's happened so many times. And she knows that her and Lisa aren't in a great space. So I think that Todd was more so looking at it from a point of, do whatever you want to do, but I don't want to hear about it.
absolutely.
and
And
and Bronwyn thinks he's just supposed to be supportive, and it's like, yeah, he can be supportive, but it gets annoying after a while when I keep telling you stop doing something and you keep doing it anyway.
that was what I was saying last week. I actually is his tone and his demeanor that's off putting, but you have to see
Yes.
past a person's tone and demeanor and listen to what they're saying and recognize that he's telling you, hey, don't tell me nothing else about this. And B, his tone and demeanor is because you got him on a show he don't want to be on.
Yep.
So why do you continuously film scenes with a person who does not want to be there? And then you're telling them about people they don't want to hear about, and are
Hmm.
surprised that they're not supportive, and are surprised that they have a bad attitude about it. You should just support me and be a trooper. Nah, you probably should just find somebody, if that's the case, that is going to support you through this, because he is not the person that's going to support you in the way that you want to be supported through this situation. So either you're going to stop filming with him and stop having him on camera, because at this point I'm starting to wonder, are you sabotaging him for a way out? So that's my
Yep.
10%. You see what I'm saying?
I swear I thought I'm on the same page, because
Yeah, like what's
I was like,
going
is
on
she
here, because it's
being
weird.
it's kind of given that she's being a little manipulative, where she is, flipping the script on camera. So it could be like, all right, I tried everything. I tried. He wasn't supportive. Yep, I'm on the same page. We've watched enough Housewives and these reality shows to know how these girls operate. So yep, I'm on the same page as you with that.
Yeah, and I was like, this is gonna sound weird, but and I was expecting pushback. I haven't seen the live comments, but in the regular comments, I need to go back and watch the live comments, see what I was saying. But in the regular comments, I didn't get much pushback on that, and I thought I would. Well, hey Sean, I know you watching. Sean is always gonna get pushback, and she definitely gave some pushback on it, but. I just did not understand for the life of me why she would continue to film with somebody who don't want to be on the show, and then be surprised that they mad.
Yep.
Um, Question: who do you think the cucumber belongs to?
Whitney.
What do you think she's doing with the cucumber?
I don't know. I just
Uh,
she's just so random as to where I
so
feel like she
random.
would she would have a cucumber, and even if it wasn't for anything like,
Yeah.
sexual, which
I
is
hope not.
where all of our minds would probably go, I could see her saying something like, the cucumber is like, it represents like faith in water, and we're on the water. Like she can just come up with something out of her butt and just try to sell it to us. So I brought it and I'm gonna slice up a piece for each of us and we're gonna eat it in unison. Like she would just come up with something stupid and out of nowhere.
And then you know what she would do? She would pour all of her life savings into a cucumber business. Knowing her. Girl. Anyway, sold by Alibaba allegedly. We don't know.
I'm
Angie K is
dead.
right. Angie K is seasick at the lunch. The ladies want Bronwyn to clear up the charges, and so she does as best she can. She says that she was 19 when she got kicked out of BYU and didn't pay her rent. And everyone's like, "Well, why would that get brought up? You were 19. We don't understand why that would get brought up." And Mary is very loud on this one. And then she denies charges that were recently made, although Heather is trying to make them stick like she's the damn DA herself, and says that this is something that she cooperated with at her place of employment and that the case is sealed and she cannot talk about it. Now, is it ironic that she cannot talk about a salacious case when Lisa Barlow had those delayed, denied, dismissed, whatever the D was, it didn't make no damn sense charges on her, and had to have a press conference, and now she's saying that the charges are about her. She can't talk about them, which, in a lot of cases, you can't talk about it, and I understand. But is it ironic or hypocritical that she can't in this sense, or are we willing to give her a pass on this?
Anytime they are on these shows and they have like court stuff, I always give it a pass because honestly, us trying to say what she can or can't talk about, you beating a dead horse. We don't know, the the depth of that case and what really is what's really real or not. So I kind of just let it go, because in a lot of those cases they can't talk about them.
Right.
It could be a thing to where if she does say something, the person that was actually charged with something, maybe that will fall on them with something. So I get it. If you don't want to be in nothing illegal or whatever the case may be, then that's the best answer you can give. I can't talk about it.
I get it, and so I don't want anybody to think I'm a hypocrite because when I was definitely 10 toes down for Karen Huger when she told him she couldn't talk about it, my mama can't talk
Same.
about it. She ain't
Same.
talking about it. However, it always just boils down to me to basic principle, as you know by me by now. Girl, treat people how you want to be treated, and you can take that how you want to take it. But I don't think that you should demand transparency from one person, and you may be in a situation where you can't give it because now you look crazy.
Yeah. That's
That's
fair.
yeah.
In Brahma's defense too, I will say that she's another housewife that I believe is very open and vulnerable.
Mm,
I
yes.
think that the other reason why I'm willing to give her a pass on that is because in situations where it was not court related, she's pretty open.
Mm,
She doesn't mind. I don't want to say embarrassing herself, but she doesn't mind telling the story that is, that doesn't make her put her in the best light. So I
yeah.
think that if she could talk about it, she probably would.
I agree too. I agree too. I agree to that. I do. And yes, I will go too far as to say she don't mind embarrassing herself the way she be showing up to set sometimes. Um, she says both her and Todd are concerned that someone in the group leaked it. And Lisa immediately has a bitch that says, I don't think anybody in the group would do that. Nobody would do that. Like nobody. And Whitney says, it's weird that this would be out and be dug up and be spun like this. And Lisa says, I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's weird at all. I especially don't think it's weird that Brown would dig up info on me. And everybody's like, girl, what you got going on over there, Lisa? And then Lisa says, nope, nobody would do that. Nope, nobody in this group would do it. We have been friends for years and we would never do that. And Mary's looking at her like, girl, cut the crap. As a matter of fact, Bronwyn, just say who you think it is because you think it's Lisa. Let's just get this over. And then Bronwyn says, she has to admit that after Amy's, I call her Rich Amy. After Rich Amy's, it intensified. And Bronwyn says she will be pissed if she finds out that Lisa did this after they made up. Lisa's currently pissed and she didn't do it. And she just wants to go swimming because it's 100 degrees outside and this is some bullshit. And Whitney says, well, now we now know that you did it, Lisa, because nobody said that you did it, but you're acting this way. And Lisa says, the way that this just got spun, she is not happy about it. And it's a bunch of bullshit. Whew. That was lunch, and we still got dinner to go. Do you think that Lisa protests too much, or do you think the ladies are reaching right now at lunch about this?
In this situation, I feel like they would have possibly. I feel like they all may have thought it, but I also think that they all would have possibly given her the benefit of the doubt had she not reacted the way that she reacted. Because one thing about people is that they repeat a lot of the same cycles that they do, and then it reminds people that they've dealt with or done wrong to exactly how it played out when it happened to them. So I
Mm.
think that when she reacted that way, it was a light bulb for pretty much all of them. Even Meredith, even though the way she acted as if she wanted to, play the middleman, I still think that a light bulb probably went off in her head, like,
She was like,
like this
"This
is
it."
exactly how, yeah, I think that that's what it was. So I think that the ladies probably would have really tried to give her the benefit of the doubt had she not reacted that way. I
Yeah, if
think
she
she
knew
set
Brittany was
herself
going to
up.
work with.
Yeah. I think she set herself up because even her saying, starting off with none of us would do that. It was more so as if she did it so the women would be on her side more so to where they would be like, oh, well, Lisa's defending us and she doesn't think we would do it. So let's defend Lisa. And it's like, the thing is, Lisa, you haven't been great to these women. That's just the truth. So at the end of the day, you should have really just kept quiet. You shouldn't have said anything, or you shouldn't have even said, I don't think none of us would have done that. You should have just kept quiet.
Um, she tried to pull a Heather, which is like corralling the girls on her side and let's rally like no, no, and everybody was like nah. So I feel like she flopped in that and Heather flopped in that. I honestly think that maybe I'm just a Lisa Barlow denier. I don't know. I don't. I feel that that reaction looks to me like somebody who has been accused of things, and like their gut knee jerk reaction is to immediately defend themselves, whether they're on a chopping block or not, because they're always getting blamed for stuff, and sometimes they do it, and sometimes they don't. But if they really don't do it, they really don't want you blaming them for that shit. Because I'm telling you, this time I didn't do it, and that's the problem, Lisa, that the girls are having, and I'm having with you, is that you've done so much, and this becomes your modus operandi, your mo. That is like it's too good to not be true, almost.
Yeah,
But for
you've
me,
done
where
so
the girls,
much into
go ahead,
so many. You've done so much into everybody, kind of
everybody,
individually. Yeah, so it's kind of like
everybody. It tracks.
it tracks.
It tracks. And so whether you did it or not, oof, it's just a hard place to be, especially if you did not do it this time. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, I knew these girls were gonna say this. Now, to her credit, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but to her credit, right now on social media, they're saying that this had already been leaked by some Twitter account. And I do think Housewives underestimate fan involvement to that degree, and we'll get into that in just a little bit, because they're all out seaside finally going swimming. And did Heather admit to fucking Captain Jason to Brittany?
Somewhat. She said they messed around or fooled around or something.
She tells Brittany to go get him, and Brittany says that she doesn't operate like that. So she flirts with every other man while she's swimming. And you have said this in the past, and this is a vivid illustration of, oh, I dated him too, Roger Bob type shit. Girl, did you fuck him? And say what you saying. Did you fuck him or no? Because what's the
Right.
point of bringing that up? Like, did you fuck him in your mind, or did you actually fuck him in the physical sense? Because if you were hanging out with him for a week and you just had a crush on him for a week and you're just trying to cop block Brittany, you're lame for that. You're already lame anyway, in my opinion, Heather. But you need to say what you're saying, because why bring that up? You brought that up in an effort to make her stop going for him, but then you didn't want to appear that you were a cop blocker. So you were like, well,
Yeah.
no, by all means, have at it. Like, because the girl who did it would have been like, girl, I had him, girl, ain't no you can go and get him, child. We just had a little
Okay.
fun. But the
That's
way that
it.
she brought it up was like, it would make Brittany look bad if she pursued it.
Yeah. It was very casual, but let me make sure I let you make sure you heard it. Yep. Heather knew what she was doing. I think she definitely maybe really did something with the guy for real. Cause she definitely tried to make it seem like, oh, it wasn't that serious.
But just say it's off
Was it?
limits.
Like, that's it. Move on.
That's it, girl. I had him, and I don't know if I'm gonna have him again, but I don't want you having him in the meantime. And whoop, there it is. And if you touch him, Brittany, I'm gonna whoop your ass and put some more water on you. Angie is throwing up everywhere, and Lisa says she's so full of shit, she's throwing up everywhere. Brittany is flirting again with somebody, and Bronwyn chose Whitney the unicorn with Jared's voice note that Brittany bought, which I thought was kind of mean, but I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. Am I just like a Brittany simp at times?
I didn't think it was mean, but I thought it was definitely like they do stuff like that, because they know it'll get the girls riled up. So it wasn't mean, but it was mean, if that
Maybe
makes
because
sense.
they always picking on Brittany. Maybe I just feel like at this
Yeah.
point, every time y'all bother, I'll be like, leave her alone. She really be minding her business, so y'all come over there. Well, no, she don't. Never mind. Brittany don't
Yes,
mind her
and she
business.
do not mind her
Yeah,
business at all.
look, I'm not gonna be fake. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, Brittany is flirting again, and she tells the guy this time that she's a developer. She builds, she sells, she builds, she sells, she builds, and she sells. And the guy's like, what do you want to drink? Bronwyn tells Whitney that Lisa called her Conwyn at Amy's, and days later, shit hit the internet, and the Twitter account called her Conwyn. Now, the flashback shows that Lisa did call her Fraudwyn, but for Bronwyn, these coincidences are too good to be true. Heather tells Whitney that she believes Lisa is the source behind Bronwyn's stuff getting out. Heather says that Lisa is smarter and darker than anyone imagines. Now, mind you, it's been pointed out that Monica actually said this about Heather verbatim in season 4, and
Hmm.
Heather repeated it back. Heather working. She's such a fan. She's such a Housewives fan.
She is.
It is
She
so
is.
cringe to me sometimes. I really do not like
I
her. I'm
I'm
sorry.
in the middle with Heather. I like her and then I don't like her. It depends on the day. It
You
depends
know
on
I
the
hate
day
that
and how I'm
word.
feeling. I know. I know. I feel like in this scene, in particular, when it comes to, I'm a little annoyed with Bronwyn with the way she relayed the message to Whitney and Heather, because this is going to be a reunion moment where Lisa Barlow is going, they gave her a way to skate out of it. So I
Mm-hmm.
wish Bronwyn had gotten the words correctly,
Mm-hmm.
and said, she said Fraudwin,
Mm-hmm.
because now this gives Lisa an out,
Mm-hmm.
to say that thing said Conway, and Lisa's going to use it. That
She's
said
a very
Conway, and
semantic
when they,
kind of girl.
yes, she is a very semantics kind of girl. So I'm like, oh, as soon as they showed the flashback, I was
I
like,
was like,
oh,
can't
this is
use it.
pissing me off. I was
Can't
like,
use it.
Lisa's gonna use this right, and they're gonna bring it up at the reunion.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's like that part pissed me off. But all in all, I did agree with Heather, rehashed words and all, that Lisa's very much smart and very dark. Because she's just so, her behavior has proven, and don't get me wrong, I think Lisa is still extremely essential to Salt Lake City, regardless.
Oh, absolutely.
But her behavior over the years has definitely became very dark, in a sense of, it's like diet Jen Shaw. She acts to me just like Jen Shaw, but she still has some type of restraint, if that makes
Almost cool
sense.
about it.
Yes. It's almost like I kind of, and I think that's why I still can get with Lisa and how she operates, because it's not as, it's still victimized, but it's not as victimized as Jen. Jen really was real life delusional.
And she will
And
beat
I,
your ass too.
yeah,
So, and
and I
that's the
think
difference.
I think Lisa's delusional, but it's still very entertaining delusional.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, that whole little scene kind of annoyed me, starting with the whole Bronwyn thing. But I was happy the girls were discussing it, because they still made good points. Like
Yeah.
Whitney was, I hate when Whitney makes sense, but she was right. She's done it to all of us one by one by one. And why would Bronwyn be an exception? Soon
Yeah.
as something hits the fan, everything starts coming out. So I was like, that is definitely track record Lisa.
It's too many coincidences in the pattern for it, for us to be like, we're just going to take Lisa off the table. We can't take Lisa off the table because it has been highlighted within this season
Hmm.
that Lisa will lay low and make up with you and then turn back around next episode and boom,
Yep.
like she did with Angie K. Oh, Angie, I love you. I never wanted to be in this place with you. I just want to move forward. The next week she sent that lady to go get her son's dusty. Oh, I got
Literally
those
the
dusty hairs
very next week, I
the very next
gagged.
week. Yeah.
I gagged, but I didn't gag. It was still like, oh, she still really is this person.
Yeah,
But
that's
it was just
Lisa.
like, that's Lisa.
Because it was unnecessary. Everything was squashed.
everything was squashed.
and she reopened up a can of whoop ass. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. So it's like, well, I mean, the pattern rent. I like to say pattern rent. The pattern rent is there. Heather tells Whitney to get Meredith in on it, and Whitney tells Meredith that they were talking about Lisa's lawsuits, and now everything leaks, and now nobody's talking about Lisa anymore. We're talking about Brahma now, so it's just weird. And Meredith says if Lisa did this, it's a problem for her, but they don't know if Lisa actually did it. Heather says, "You don't care at all about this stuff. Um, that's getting out about Conwin Fraudport." I'm like, girl. Meredith is confused as to why the ladies care more about if Lisa leaked it than what Bronwyn did. And the correlation does not equal causation. And to me, it was so funny when Meredith was sitting in that bed and she was like, well, I mean, if she said it, it's a problem, but we don't know that Lisa actually did it because Heather and Whitney were like, this they already, Heather already knew she wasn't gonna be in on it. Heather's like, she ain't gonna do it. She ain't gonna be in on it. What do you
I
think
was
about this?
I was annoyed that they even called Meredith. Annoyed for two reasons. One, because it pissed me off that I was going to have to sit here and watch Meredith basically play dumb. And then that was the first reason. And then two, because y'all knew that, if anything, if Lisa has not been loyal to Meredith, what we've always saw of Meredith was Meredith being loyal to Lisa. So my thing was, even though their relationship hasn't been the same since season one and
It
two, it's
hasn't.
still, it's still a thing to where you can see that Lisa, I mean, that Meredith still has some type of, you know, some type of love there for Lisa,
Yeah.
regardless. She turns a blind eye to a lot that Lisa does. And she still tries to kind of scurry her way out of, the Lisa drama when it comes to the other ladies. We've seen it over and over and over.
Because
So
Chad,
when
she knows
they
Lisa said that shit about told Andrew to do that shit. She knows she
she
told her that.
knows. She knows. Meredith knows. So I'm like, I get it. You want to be on this whole Zen thing, and you don't want to be too much into the drama. You don't want to rehash the Lisa drama. Cool. But Heather and Whitney knew damn well that Meredith was not going to throw Lisa under the bus. So I was like, why did y'all even bring her in? Y'all should have just bad weather. Y'all should have been the ones to, because I mean, y'all can take Lisa at the end of the day. Y'all two alone could take Lisa. Y'all didn't need Meredith. So at the end of the day, y'all should have just brought that up. Because Heather is gonna be Heather. And I mean, so far from what we've seen, she wants to, publicly hold Lisa accountable. She could have just done it on her own.
And that's the kicker. And that's why I got to get in the Heather Gay ass, okay? Because listen, what she's trying to do is get the numbers on her side so
Yep.
it can cloud what's really going on. And is that she was ready to get at Lisa. She's been playing a long game with Lisa ass too. Because how do you go from being a Lisa Barlow defender and then all of a sudden you're going to take this on for the group and I'm going to be the one? Ain't nobody died make who died to made you the boss. Did you see the ladies have a conversation where the ladies have asked you specifically because you are Lisa's friend to go say something to Lisa? No.
Nope.
So why you feel like you're the one that has to do this? I don't understand. And so for me, you have a group surrounded around you so that way it can make you not look guilty in being a weird ass bitch.
Yep.
That's it. There's no eloquence to what I just said. There is, but y'all know what I'm saying. She's moving foul, and
I
so when
agree.
you do it in a group of numbers and say we're all coming together, it kind of like, okay, well maybe she's doing this for the right reasons. When honestly she's not doing this for the right reasons. She's not
Yeah.
doing this because she's standing up to Lisa and I'm your real friend and everybody else. Y'all may be scared of Debo, but I ain't scared of Debo. That's not the reason why she's doing this. She's doing this to create another moment because she is drunk off of her own juice. She is high off of her own supply, and her supply is receipts, proof, timeline, evidence, fucking everything. And she's been
Yep.
looking for that moment ever since she's had it because she finally was the it girl that she thought that she was designed to be and has
Yep.
always wanted to be, and she don't have the I or the T. So while what she's saying is true, there's that saying that, listen, hey, you may be having it true and you may be saying facts, but right message, wrong messenger. And Heather, you are the wrong messenger. And I'm gonna tell your ass up a little bit more later, but I couldn't
She's
resist myself. She gets
definitely,
on my nerves that bad.
yeah, she's definitely the wrong messenger. I will say that you could tell that she definitely is living off of her moment, her iconic moment, which is, I'll give it to her. That was your moment. It was iconic.
Iconic.
Especially since everything rang to be true. The thing is, she didn't understand or doesn't understand how to your iconic moments, if you're not just naturally that way, like a Nene or or somebody like that, then your iconic moments will come far in between. And that one was such a good moment, like Sheree's "Who Gonna Check Me Boo," which is still in rotation these days. That's to where you could have just ran with that, and that could have been your catchphrase for your Housewives tenure. Period. Sheree not even on Housewives no more, and we still know
Checking
"Who
her
Gonna
boo.
Check Me Boo." Like that is a
Right.
thing. So Heather kind of put her foot in her mouth, especially since you can tell now that it's almost like you can feel that she wants to be the one that gets the recognition of the official Lisa Barlow takedown.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, you're trying too hard. If it's gonna come, it's gonna come. And just leave it at that. She thinks since she got somebody out, then, it's gonna up her, like boost her status in the Housewives universe. And it's not gonna do that if it's not done right.
Because here's the thing: we like you to get a girl out that we want out. Get her out
That
of here.
part too.
It was Monica was a mixed bag. Some people want her out. A lot of people did not want her out. So for
Hmm.
you to get rid of that's like I always make this comparison. That's like getting rid of Kenya Moore season 6. Are you kidding me? And this is why Heather is. This is what separates the goods from the greats. Nobody liked Kenya on that cast after season 5, right? And when season 6 came around, all of them said, "You better bring her ass back in there. And if we got to fight with her, we will. But we got to hit, and we're not gonna ruin our hit." You know what I
That
mean?
part.
Luckily for Salt Lake City, they're so dynamic that they could continue on in sort of even greater heights. But I always said, just imagine if Monica was relegated to a friend of role. She had enough girls on the cast willing to film with her. Now Heather
Hmm.
has gone ahead and gotten out. What is her storyline? Because Heather has nothing going on for 2 seasons in a row now. That's Heather's
Nothing.
sparring partner. You don't get rid of your sparring partner.
You do not. Nope.
And then you don't
You do
go and try
not.
to make iconic moments like in the moment. Like I'm not speaking to you thinking, oh, this is oh, that's gonna be so good. This is an iconic moment. I'm talking to you. So when she did the receipts and proof and timeline, I don't think she thought that that was gonna be it. She was genuinely pissed at that girl, and that's what came out of her mouth, and it
Yep.
became iconic. But when you're going into these scenes thinking, oh, I'm gonna say this and do that, you end up like Miss Quad flopping coming out of a casket.
Looking silly.
Speaking of which, you'll be with us on Married to Medicine sometimes, all right?
Yes, indeed. I
Y'all know how we get
absolutely
down on
will.
Married to Medicine, so we'll be seeing Chad. I'm so great. That was a great segue. But let's go back into it. Absolutely, she was trying to create a moment, girl, like she always tried to do. And this is why people think that this show is stunted and staged because of you. And
They call it the parody housewives of the housewives. And
absolutely,
I said I actually can see that. But luckily for them,
they're an
it's
amazing
genuinely
pair.
entertaining.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an
absolutely, they're
amazing
an amazing
look.
pair.
You can't take that away
Gonna keep
from
watching it.
them.
Whatever. Make fun. I don't care. Angie and Mary miss dinner, and Heather says that she will miss Mary's commentary, and Brittany says, I won't miss the bitch. And Heather says, we don't talk about the ladies behind their back. And Brittany says, excuse me, I have an announcement. I'm the only one who talks about the girls to their face. Brahma says, well, that's interesting. And her Brahma, that's interesting. Because you were talking shit about Lisa and Meredith today. And camera flashes back, and she was talking big shit about Lisa and Meredith today. You said you didn't like how Lisa treats you like a little girl and is always in your business, running your life. And you said that Meredith has fake seizures and freaks out and gets upset and stuff. And Meredith gets upset and she's like, "Are you kidding me?" And Brittany says, "That's the fake seizure I was talking about. That's it right there, you guys." And so Meredith says, "You better back it up about the seizure thing because my kid had a seizure and I'm an advocate for seizures." Y'all know if anybody even remotely related to Meredith has gone through something, and you mention something in relation to that to her, she's gonna go have a I don't want to say a seizure, but she's gonna go in on your ass. Like, do not do it. My son got a hangnail, and how dare you accuse me of having one? I
Yep.
work with Hangnail Anonymous, and I'm going in on your ass. So anyway, she is upset because her kid had a seizure, and so she gets up and she politely pours her drink in Brittany's lap. No, Jared. And then Brittany throws her drink at Meredith's direction, but unfortunately, Brahman had to be there to block it out. I mean, I don't want to see a drink get thrown on anybody, but kind of like that was a little
Sometimes
disappointing.
like sometimes it's okay if it's done the
Yeah,
right way.
yeah. But listen, they're doing this as Heather watches in laughter and amusement. Did you catch Heather?
Heather was definitely amused
I mean,
the
it's
whole time.
I don't like her as on the show. I don't know her personally to not like her. So before people say, "Oh, he doesn't," I don't know her. So it's like I don't like her. I don't like what I'm watching on this show, and I haven't liked this in season one. However, do you feel like that was like a little puppet master stringery, like the look that she was looking like? Yeah, these girls are cutting up in my shit, or was it just like, what the fuck is happening? This is
I
crazy.
think it was. I think it was more of a what the F is happening. Heather, I will say she's a bit off putting sometimes, but I don't think she's a
Not
that
this
she
time.
works as a puppet master.
Yeah, well, because she didn't even. That was Bronwyn got that pop
Yeah, that
cooked.
was Brahma's. I think she was genuinely just entertained by it.
Or maybe she was like, okay, Bronwyn, I see you. I'm impressed. Okay, I don't like you, but okay, you went to work. You clocked in. Because Bronwyn got that pop cooked, but Bronwyn always get a pop cooked about Brittany, girl.
And
Uh, wow. Meredith says that Brittany lies incessantly. She recorded them and has done some really violent, nasty things to them. And Brittany says, Meredith, why don't you just go disengage? And I hollered. I was like, "Ooh, stand up! Stop letting them punk you."
speaking of another natural moment that happened, because I don't know if Meredith ever thought that was going to turn into something, but the I'm
Oh
disengaging
yeah,
definitely turned into a
you
moment.
can leave. Like none of
You
that was
can
like. We talked about you can leave for weeks in our group chat. That was funny. You can leave and disengage. I'm
literally,
disengaging. I'm
I'm
disengaging.
disengaging.
Anyway, oh, I wish she had a little bob.
Are you having a seizure?
I'm having a Meredith. Meredith could be a Delta. All that shaking she be doing.
I am dead.
Okay, anyway, Angie and Meredith, Mary are in their room enjoying the yacht service, and Heather says that this is not a pile on. So, like, come on, guys. Whitney says because I guess Brittany was like, "You guys pile on to me" or whatever it was. I didn't write it down. Anyway, Whitney says Meredith and Heather should own something that they've done, and Heather is disappointed because Meredith is actually going to leave her high and dry on this one. So you got to do your dirty work on your own, boo, and now you're going to be exposed for looking like a puppet master in this situation. I don't know. Anyway, Heather says that she is just going to be honest, and she doesn't care about anyone in this table. You can tell she's setting it up for it to be this big moment that's going to make the trailer. I don't care about anyone who's not at this table right now. And it's like, okay. Anyway, I don't like her. I'm sorry. And told Lisa she thinks that she is the source of the leak. Lisa's like, oh my God, me? After they just had a whole freaking discussion about it at lunch. And Meredith tells Lisa what was said, and Lisa gets upset and says, I hope you said something. And then
I
Meredith
hope you
tells
had
her
my back.
and Meredith told her what she said, and Lisa says, no, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. I know you said something else. Lisa can't help it that people tell her stuff, and she is not responsible for that. Heather calls Lisa the grand poobah of dirt in Salt Lake City, and Lisa says that I'm always hearing shit. I don't do anything to any of you. And then she gets up as Whitney approaches her. She says, no, you sit down. You don't come over. You sit your little butt down and don't come near me. And then she goes over to Heather and grabs her face and says, you know everything I know. Now that should be a trailer moment. Because
And
what
she
the hell does
grabbed her
that mean, Chad?
with both hands, and it's like she literally looked at her like, you know everything I know. So I
What
was
does
like,
that
oh,
mean?
I was definitely curious.
You messy as hell. You think stuff going down on that show and then slide across Heather Gay desk? Heather Gay know
Hmm,
everything going on.
absolutely, I agree.
You know
Heather's
too.
Heather's really what they want to make Lisa out to be, if we being honest. Yeah, if
And
we
I would
being
say why
honest.
she gets away with it, but my fat sister's gonna be mad at me. But I'm fat and I can say it because I look good.
Period.
So
Look,
I can say it.
at
She
this
get
point,
away with it.
at this point, we listening.
She gonna get away with it, right? Because if y'all call her a fat bitch, y'all gonna be wrong. That wasn't eloquent, was it? You want me to eloquently put it?
Put it just like that. Nope.
No, because
Look,
I'm also let me say
they need to hear it the right way.
that's that's
Very clear and concise.
that's it. That's the it and that's the all of it. Honestly, she gets away with so much stuff because she is a woman. She was a woman of a certain size. Was a woman of a certain size, and I think people are
A certain look.
of a certain look and aesthetic.
According to Mirror is the
Oh
inbred
yes,
look.
yes, a look. And I think people are afraid to say things because it will be construed that they're coming from that place of I already don't like you because I'm fat phobic and da da da. You ain't nothing but a fat messy bitch and all of these things. But when it's true, it's true. Okay. Now there are two types of people. There's one type of person who is fat phobic and already is going to assume that and put you into that boat, whether you're being messy or not, because you're fat. When we used to do Beverly Hills, I'm not a being, you may call it messy, but we're giving an opinion on a reality show. To me, messy is how what I'm saying and doing is involved and directly impacts you in your everyday life. So for me saying my opinion on Housewives, that's not messy. Okay.
Hmm.
I crack a joke, but this is Housewives. That doesn't affect you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I know you personally, or if I know you and I'm doing something, Chad, to you that directly impacts your life, that I'm being messy. And I'm a messy fat ass bitch for that. Okay. Right? Because, yeah. But when the girls was on the Beverly Hills reviews, you're a loud, fat, black, gay. We already know what this is about. I'm black,
Yep.
I'm loud, I'm fat, it's how dare you, pretty
Yep.
much,
Very much a
right?
how dare you.
How dare you have an opinion?
Yep.
However, those things don't apply to Heather in this case.
Yep.
Heather's messy as fuck, and that's just what
Literally,
it is.
literally messy. The
Yeah,
epitome.
being fat don't really have nothing to do with it, but being fat is why she gets away with it. Catch that dirt, boom, and
But
I said
is
it.
she even still fat? I don't even think know if I
Her
consider
head
her fat
big.
no more. Her head is still big.
Let me stop. See that?
No, her head is real big for real.
Her
I
head is
noticed that
huge.
her head is definitely
I
big.
don't even, but I don't know if you've noticed. I don't necessarily disparage the girls on their looks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
none of us do. Now that I think about it, we may
Some of
joke
us
around
did in
about
the
certain
some
stuff,
of the
but
girls did in the past. We won't say
oh,
who, but
oh,
I'm not one of them. Like I don't talk about their hair. I don't talk about any of those things just because, I am still recognizing that I identify as a they them male, because she could be her and sometimes too, but primarily I am a male, right? And so for me, I think for me, I don't speak for anybody else, but the optics of me talking about a woman's weight,
yeah,
talking about a woman's look, her hair, those things,
it's not
they don't.
becoming.
It's not becoming. It doesn't translate well. So when I said that, I'm not calling her a fat bitch, but she is a fat bitch. If that makes sense, I don't know. Y'all sit with it and deal with it. Anyway, Heather Gay, nothing goes on in Salt Lake City and doesn't come across Heather Gay's desk. In my opinion, they bonded because they just as messy. And when Lisa was like, "Oh, you messy too, girl." Okay, maybe I did. Maybe I can give you a chance. Maybe we can be friends. Maybe we have something in common.
Yeah,
That was what that was about. You know everything too, girl, so stop it. Anyway, she says they called me a cheater and Jen Shaw, and she says the girl should be lucky she even talks to them, and that really pisses Heather off. Heather starts screaming that she has been a good friend to Lisa and Lisa needs to own it. Lisa says, fuck that, because she's not the source of any dirt, and she's not going to admit to something she didn't do. Heather says that Lisa is a defensive fucking bitch. And I'm like, what is happening here? Lisa says that she can't be Heather's friend if she believes that. And Lisa loves how this got spun. And said Heather says, you're the one spinning it, you moron. And I'm like, what? Why is she calling her all that face? And tells Lisa to leave my yacht. You can leave if you don't want to hear what the person who is in charge of the yacht, has to say. And we're going to stop right there because then the Lisa emotional breakdown and then we're out. What did you think about Heather saying, fuck it, y'all don't want to do it, I'll do it, move, and kicking it to Lisa straight?
she should have
What did
done
you
it from
think
the
about the
jump.
motive? All of that. Give me everything.
She should have done it from the jump. That's all I was saying. Like Heather, you shouldn't have even tried to involve Meredith. I do think that she could have, if anything, she could have involved Whitney because, of course, Whitney don't care for Lisa. So they had that little thing or whatever. But Heather is, in my opinion, big and bad enough to where, and she believes she's big and bad enough to where she could have done all that from the jump on her own. The thing is, like you said, she wants the number. She wants to make it seem like it's this united front. So you lost a few cool points from me, Heather, for trying to do it that way. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you see it's not going your way with your help. So therefore, let me, go ahead and go that route and just really start attacking Lisa. But I'm wondering if she went even harder because Lisa was going hard and defending herself, or if she was going hard just because she was trying to make a moment. I really couldn't pick that up, to be clear, but it was very evident that she was more so upset that nobody was backing her up the way she wanted to be backed up. And it was like, okay, you know, I'm happy you finally said it and did all this, but you're not getting cool points because at the end of the day, you still are low key kind of running up Lisa's behind. All that running behind her and stuff and trying to, talk to me. I've been a friend and all that. It's just like, girl, no, don't do all that. Let her have it straight, like Brahma would have done, or like a Angie would have done, and leave it at that. Because had that been Angie K would have let Lisa have it from
Well,
the
rob the
jump
fuck out that
with
bitch. You hear me?
literally without a she wouldn't have even I mean, she would have dealt with Mary getting mad at her later, but she wouldn't have cared. Angie K would have let Lisa have it, and she wouldn't have needed no backup.
Yeah.
So that was kind of disappointing with Heather being an OG, trying to take that route. It was more so just like, girl, the blow up now is not really appeasing to me, at least. It might maybe to other people, but it didn't really do nothing for me the way it might have done something for somebody else. But nonetheless, I guess I'm happy she got it all out.
Yeah. I'll give you guys. I just want to touch back on that fat privilege thing that I said. Right? Because people are like, "Man, fat privilege." Everybody has a level of privilege that they can use to their advantage, whether they tap into it or not. That's all I'm saying, right? Um, I don't have that luxury because I have too many intersections. But at the end of the day, Heather's also, oh, y'all gonna be mad when I say this one too, a white woman.
There you go.
And that is the caveat to her privilege. Catch. Okay, but it's like Heather and Emily last season on OC, and Heather was afraid to kind of like address things with Emily because Emily barks her down like a fucking dog every time they get into it. And then she'll like use like her being heavier and bigger as like a scapegoat at times for her issues with Heather. Like Heather put her in a jacket but didn't put everybody else in the jacket when honestly Heather was trying to show the range in her line, and so she had someone who's considered plus, even though Emily is wouldn't necessarily be a bigger woman, but in the Housewives kind of canon, she is right.
Yeah.
So it was a show off the line, but Emily took great offense that she was the only one in the jacket, and she was like, "It's about my weight." And it wasn't, you know what I mean? And so so Heather's like, I really don't want to say nothing to the bitch because she's gonna bring up weight. You get what I'm saying? So and I
Yeah.
get it, I do, because I'm a bigger girl, so I understand where everybody's coming from at times. You know what I mean? That don't stop you bitches from getting at me. Is all I'm saying. Anyway, but that's what stops certain people from saying things about Heather and about Emily, whatever. Anyway, so I just wanted to illustrate that really quickly. However, Heather is a weirdo, and it's not because of her weight or any of that. Heather is a weirdo because this is a conversation when you hold a friend accountable that you should probably have at the beginning of the friendship and say, "Hey, I would like to enter a friendship with you, but these are my things that I can't deal with moving forward as a friend."
Right.
Right? Because it's not like Lisa has never gotten into it with Heather and they've never had issue. They've always had issue. And their friendship is new. So why would you enter a friendship and defend someone as blindly as you did at the beginning of the season and then come at them and attack them for spilling stuff that you feel like they've done, but they honestly, it doesn't involve you and they haven't done anything to you recently. So to me, it's kind of just weird that Heather felt the need to take this on behalf of the girls when feels like it's more of Angie's fight, more of
Yeah.
Bronwyn's fight, more of Whitney's fight right now because they're actively having the conversations with Lisa that you keep doing this to me and you've done it this season, and so you're the source of it. Heather can agree or disagree, but for Heather to lead the charge, I think it's just awkward because ultimately, in my opinion, if you're her friend and you're defending her when they're saying these things, then why are you attacking and leading a charge on these things? And it has nothing to do with you. Like it doesn't, and especially when the fight is about Bronwyn, who you hate, like it doesn't add up
It's
to me.
it doesn't add up. It also gives that again, you secretly have been waiting on this moment to try to be the crusader or the one who's known across the universe as the one who took Lisa Barlow down. And it's like, girl, it doesn't read as authentic. You definitely are doing it not for the right reason. So good luck, because at the end of the day, it's going to end up one of those things like Nene and Sheree, where you think you can do this, but the people really, even all with all of Lisa's foolery, the people still love Lisa way more than they love you, Heather. And I know that that's probably hard to fathom given all that she does and has done, but you are not going to become iconic by taking Lisa Barlow down.
Because we don't
You, we don't want that, and we don't want it from you. If anybody's going to become iconic for taking Lisa Barlow down, it'll be Angie K.
and I think a close run up is gonna be Brown and Whitney. We don't care.
Yes.
Those two, baby, because they got irons in the fire, especially Bronwyn, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah.
So if you think it's her and the trajectory, both of them have irons in the fire with Lisa, and it would have made more sense that they did it. And Heather supported them and said, "Lisa, I'm your friend, but I actually feel like it's you two." Then
Yeah.
it'd be like, okay, but they're not there at the dinner, and you're doing it. You're just kind of trying to have a moment, girl. Anyway, and this is where the intentions for Heather get called into question. But I have been calling them into question all season in our group chat. Chad. I was like, why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? Lisa is emotional and starts crying, and she says that they think that she's the source, and she just cannot believe it. Heather says, just own it because it's not a bad thing if you're the source. Then what the fuck are we having this conversation about if it's not a bad
Yeah.
thing? This
Just saying stuff.
uh,
Just
so
saying stuff, literally.
then she starts following Lisa around the yacht, and she better be lucky Lisa wasn't Jim Shaw because she would have got popped upside her head.
Look,
Um,
again.
again. So Lisa's on the phone talking to John, and she said, "I never did anything to them. I've never done anything in all 5 seasons, and I've been torturing them. I've never tortured them. You've been torturing them, Diva. You got to own that one." Heather comes in, and Angie in Mary's room looking disheveled like she normally does, so no difference, and tells them what happened. And Mary says, "Good on you. Take her ass down. Get the bitch." Because she definitely did, you know, throw some serious doubt into Mary's church and everything. Brittany is flirting with Captain Jason and asks him if he's the captain of the boat. And I think he got uninterested immediately after that. He was like, "Yeah, I'll see you in the morning." Am I the captain of the fucking boat?
He said, "Not tonight. I'm not doing no tour tonight.
Right.
We'll do it tomorrow."
Maybe tomorrow. And what did she do? She moved on to another man. Mary and Angie say Heather's being a good friend, and Heather says that she's just bearing the weight of the group and taking this on. Meanwhile, Lisa is sobbing and quietly ponders, "Why did they do this to me?" And off to next week. Everybody's crazy as hell on this show.
Everybody.
I just, I just, but Heather's crazy as she thinks that we don't see what she's doing. Um,
Hmm.
and it's really not even like she can't even stand in it for a night and then go and have the conversation tomorrow. Girl, you mad tonight, but I said what I said. And if we're going to be friends, you need to know that I'm going to be the only one in here that's not going to kiss your ass because y'all might be scared of Debo, but I'm not scared of Debo, right? However, for you to immediately run and say, no, 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 no. It's like, oh, but don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I don't give a fuck if you're mad at me. I do care that you're mad at me, but also you're mad at me because I told you the truth. So when you calm down, we can talk about this.
We can talk about it. Until then,
So then what are we doing, Heather? Like, I'm sorry, I'm over Heather. Chad, what did you think about the rest of it?
I was pretty much the same how you felt. I was annoyed with Lisa because I hate when Lisa turns into a victim. Lisa, because if you're gonna be victim, at least have some things that are true about what you're saying. That whole conversation on the phone with John,
Was wild.
it was just pure delusion. It was like, especially when I've never done nothing to any of them. It was like, girl, you literally have done something to
This
every
is why
last
John
one
wants
of
a
them.
divorce.
Like, it was very much like, girl, I can't even empathize with you if I wanted to because you have absolutely been very nasty to these women. So I get it why they act the way they act, even though they're not doing it the right way. But for you to not take any type of, I just wish you would have left that out. Other than that, it was another good because I enjoy watching Lisa crash out. I don't
Oh
know
my
about
God,
everybody else,
yes.
but I enjoy it. it was another moment that I enjoyed watching her crash out. But I just wish she would crash out in reality and stop crashing out in delusion.
That's the crash out
Because
of
yeah,
virtual reality, honey. Okay.
something,
Lord Jesus.
something. Well, yeah, it
Um,
definitely. The episode ended with me saying, "Wow, Salt Lake City is really the top tier Housewives franchise right now. Like it's
yeah.
so." like I said in our group chat, I'm kind of shocked that they are what they are.
Me too.
Like I'm not gonna hold you. I'm very shocked that they are at the top of the totem pole as far as how people view the Housewives right now. But all in all, they deserve it. They are a cast that works together. They, is it gets dark, but it's still, like I said, a very entertaining type of dark. It's not a dark to where it's like, oh, I don't want to watch that, or it's too much. So. Um, I'm really happy for them, and I'm happy that they continue to give us week after week episodes of pure foolery and chaos.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember us being in a group chat at this time during season 2, and I remember the first half of season 2 was so slow. Remember, we were like, "This is boring."
Hmm. Yeah.
And then by the end of season 2, my God, today it picked up. Don't get me wrong. Like every episode, we were like, "What is happening?" To the point where y'all had to pick the cameras back up and review the rest of it because it was so good. And then
Yes.
season 3 was kind of like I liked season 1. Season 2, it got amazing towards the end. Season 3, I skipped it, but I have not really heard the best things about it.
I
So
don't. I can't even remember it much, honestly.
exactly, because season 4 and 5 and now 6 have just leveled up. I think that they are treading dangerous territory, though.
They are.
Um,
They are because it's becoming too iconic, I should
yeah,
say, to where it's going to be hard to keep that momentum up.
they're about
So
to
they
jump the shark.
definitely, yeah, they definitely need to have I think they need to have a season how Miami had this year,
Like,
where it was
ooh,
still, yeah, it was kind of cool. It wasn't too much because Miami to me wasn't great this year, but it was still good enough watch. But
yeah,
it wasn't what we're used to with Miami.
as you know, OG Roni kind of has that like that flow where like um there are like seasons in a row where it's like chaotic, and then there's another season after that where everybody's like, oh, okay, maybe we need to dial it back a little bit. It's still, but the personality of the ladies carry the season through, and it's still an entertaining watch because the ladies themselves are entertaining. They just aren't as nasty as they were the previous seasons. And in the next
Yeah,
season, we'll go ahead and pick up our swords and our guns and blow each other's head off, but let's give the audience a beat. And I think that I don't recommend withdrawing anybody as much as these girls get on my nerves. I don't recommend taking anybody out, but it may be to the point where maybe they just need somebody new to play with. I don't know.
yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
could be good because they have 7 official wives.
Yeah.
So
Get
yeah,
some
they
friends
could.
or something. We don't need
Yeah,
wives. You keep who you got. But
yeah,
like
they could add some friends.
how Brittany and Bronwyn were someone new to play with.
Yeah.
I don't know how you add more and more girls to a show, but Miami's got 9 girls filming, so maybe we get like how Rich Amy was fun for those 2 episodes that she quit. But like, give me somebody new to fight with because like this, like I feel like Lisa versus Angie is getting kind of toxic to me, to where it's
It
like I
is.
used to look forward to a good Lisa versus Angie fight. I still do, but then I'm like, it could go on and on at times. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just don't want it to jump the shark to the point where you can't go back with like how
Yeah.
some of the housewives, like New York right now, is kind of jumped the shark and it's hard for them to go back.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. They will be. I think they'll be fine if they. What I will say, I think that they have a bit over the other franchises, though. Their production team is just top tier. The editing. I mean, like you. Honestly, when I watch it, sometimes I'm more entertained by the editing and the way that the production team does everything, even more than what the girls are giving. Because I mean, that's important, how they edit the show. So I will give them that. As long as they keep a good production team, I think it could be okay. But they definitely have to, dial it back just a little bit. But their production team is top tier.
And you know what's so funny? They have the same production team as New York Housewives,
Mm.
and as Basketball Wives. And so
Oh,
to
okay.
me, it clearly shows what show they love to edit the most because they put their
Yeah.
heart and soul into this one. It reminds me of old Roni. It really does. It really does.
Hmm.
Because these girls are chaotic, funny, crash outs, and the worst possible people in the best possible way. So yeah, I love them. Even Heather Gay Girl, I love her. She just get on my fucking nerves. Other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna have a birthday show on Monday. We're gonna review the Real
Period.
Housewives of Potomac, and I'm gonna have special guests pop in and ask me anything. Nothing
Hmm.
doesn't have to be related to reality TV. It could be anything they want to ask. They're gonna come on in. They're gonna ask me anything and give their thoughts too on Potomac. And so we'll see you guys on Monday for the birthday show. I'm excited. Other than that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow Chad, because his takes are one of a kind. And so, Chad,
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad you came, and I can't wait to see more
Same.
of you on No Chaser TV as well.
Same. I had a ball. It's always great to come on your channel, as I said. And yeah, we have a good little conversation about the girls and
We
see what the
do.
girls got going on.
We do. I always have the best conversations with you. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you when we see you. Peace. I'm going to celebrate my birthday. Bye.
Peace.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh. I'm joking. I'm joking.